Change is an important feature of nature. Every moment several changes takes place around us. These changes are exciting and they generate in us the curiosity to know the reasons behind each of them. Some common changes are changes of day and night, changes of climate, rainfall, melting of ice, freezing of water, growth of plants and animals, digestion of food, burning of fuel, ripening of fruits, cooking of rice, formation of curd from milk, rusting of iron are examples of some changes. What are our observations? A raw mango is green, but it turns yellow on ripening. Means when fruit ripens, its color changes. A sapling is very small in size, but it becomes larger with the time as it grows into a plant. That is, its shape and size change. Raw rice is hard, but boiled rice is soft. Thus, the hardness of the substance might also change when the change occurs. Water changes into ice when kept in the freezer for the few hours. The earth revolves around the sun, which means the position of the earth with respect to the sun changes continuously with time. When changes take place, the substance may change their color, shape, size, hardness, state, and position. There is always a reason behind every changes. Since most of the changes are different in nature, we need to classify them to study them according in detail. So, types of changes. Slow change and fast change. The changes that takes longer time to complete are called slow changes. These changes may take hours, days, months, or even years to occur. For example, evaporation of water takes hours. The germination of seeds takes days. Formation of fossil fuel from dead plants and animals takes hundreds and thousands of years to be formed. Rusting of iron, tooth decay, freezing of water, changes of season are all slow changes. The changes that takes place in a very short interval of time are called fast changes. For example, when a piece of paper is lit, it immediately catches fire and changes into black ash and the smoke release is lost into the air. Bursting of inflated balloon, bursting of crackers, lightning of electric bulb. These are examples of fast changes. Natural and man-made changes. Some of the changes that takes place in nature by itself and they are never ending, such changes are called natural changes. The formation of coal from the dead and decaying plants is a natural change. Example of natural changes are change of day and night, changes of seasons, earthquake, growing of tree, eruption of volcanoes. Man-made changes. Any change that occurs due to the effort of human beings is called a man-made change. For example, the formation of steel from raw iron, the making of kite from a piece of paper, the preparation of chapatis from the wheat flour, etc. are man-made changes. Periodic and non-periodic changes. Changes that are repeated at a regular interval of times are called periodic changes. All these changes occur after a fixed time period when they are bounded to take place. For example, the change of day and night, the change of seasons, summer, winter, and spring, full moon and new moon nights, the development of high tides and low tides in the sea. Non-periodic changes. Changes that are not repeated at regular intervals and occurs irregularly are called non-periodic changes. These changes can occur at any time and they do not have any periodicity. For example, landslide, earthquake, power breakdown, sneeze, headache, sudden shower of rain, thunder and lightning, are the other example of non-periodic changes. Desirable and undesirable changes. Changes that are useful to mankind are said to be desirable change. For example, when cooking gas burns, it produces heat to cook our food. Similarly, milk turning into curd is desirable change. Undesirable changes. Any change that brings about destruction is an undesirable changes. For example, floods and epidemics are undesirable changes. Some changes are desirable at one time and undesirable at some other time. For example, cutting of tree is desirable for those who need wood for cooking, but it is undesirable because it damages the environment. Burning of fuel for cooking is a desirable change, but burning of building is undesirable change. Reversible and irreversible changes. When a change in a substance can be reversed by changing the conditions, it is said to be reversible change. Water converting into steam at 100 degrees Celsius and steam reversing into water on cooling is an example of reversible change. Melting and sublimation are also reversible changes. A reversible change is indicated with two opposite arrows. Some other example of reversible changes are glowing of bulb, vaporization of water, sugar dissolved into water. Irreversible changes. If a substance cannot be brought back to its original state after a change, it is said to be an irreversible change. On burning, a piece of paper changes to ash. It is an irreversible change because paper cannot be obtained back from ash. Some other example of irreversible changes are cooking of food, rusting of iron, souring of milk, burning of candle or wood, ripening of fruits are example of some irreversible changes.